So before, when I would use color in these shapes, it was more just using color. I wasn't necessarily thinking about that color being a way that an illusion was presented or that the shape looked interesting. You know, I think it was looking interesting because of the lines. So when I'd used color before, it was really just, let's try something new, let's try a little bit of variety, let's make some that aren't just black and white. But now I think I'm using color as more of an integral part to the pieces and what I'm trying to communicate about depth and perspective. So maybe lines will show up in these pieces, but I think the focus is more on the color and how that is working with whatever the shape is. And I've also been learning a lot more about color. I think early in my career, I was like, color, not for me. I just want to think about lines and black and white and things that are very architectural. I think I tend to just be drawn more towards that in general. But I think over the years, it's been, I want to expand. I want to try something a little bit different and think more about color as a tool. So learning about, okay, if I'm using these sorts of warm tones or this sort of cool tone, or if I'm doing something that's monochromatic, and then what's going to happen when I'm mixing in the grays and the blacks to something that's more of a pink red versus like a pink purple, and thinking through how the colors will interact. I love Josef Albers' book, Interaction of Color. I think it's been really, really helpful because, again, these are things I learned in school, but I haven't really been implementing them in my career. So it's been really interesting, I think, to see him talk about color and what colors will do when they're next to each other. And I'm even thinking about like, okay, these two paintings together, that does something differently than if they were displayed, you know, farther apart. And I think these are things that I wasn't thinking about as much with the lines, where lines were the focus to creating illusion. Now it's color is dominant. And before, when it was lines the main focus, color is a secondary thought, I think that's where these are moving, where it's color is a focus, line are a secondary thought, because, I mean, these kind of are lines, sort of, just like thick lines, thick shapes. So there's still those similar elements, but color is the main determining factor for how the shape might be perceived.